Good morning, church. This morning I want to talk about projection. And this was triggered by A Guy in a Golden, which I really love watching their skits. Teddy is so adorable, and I just want to give him a great big hug. He's just so cute. And in the course of this, watching some of his videos in a positive, because all their videos are positive, it actually triggers memories in me that caused me to make to do sermons. And it's not just with A Guy in a Golden, it's with other things. And I hear a lot of other ministers talk about this. So for those of you that are paying attention, projection is when, and I'm going to use this as an example because it just happened to me at the gym. I have abusers that are running around hollering, I'm panicking, because they're criminals who identity thefted or who have caused plagiarism. And they are trying to claim that I'm the one that's lying and I'm the fraud. And so while they're watching me work out, they're hollering that I'm panicking when it's really them. When you're the victim, you're not panicking. You're just doing your day to day, which is what I do. And so if you watch my videos, you know that I've been active, and people that have watched me all my life, that have known that I'm an athletic person, and I've actually taken jobs specifically because of the challenge of the physical exertion. And in the course of that, I've got some other examples for you because, and I want to thank A Guy in a Golden because they are wonderful. I really, really love their videos. The memory that it triggered in me was with regards to Taylor Falk, aka Taylor Marjorie Greene. Greene is her married name, so there's no misunderstanding. Elizabeth St. Cyr, Tara Carpenter, who is the spouse of William Carpenter, he is the person who provoked my head injury because he was sleeping with Taylor. Some people call her Marjorie, and that's how I caught it because her aunt, Kim Falk Wheatley, who was on the council for the Pokagon Band of Potawatomi, called her Marjorie. She didn't call her Taylor until she heard me call her that, and Mr. Carpenter. So Elizabeth and this whole group, and this is where group stalking comes in, because especially if you've hired people and there's money involved, or it doesn't have to be money, it can be assets, property, you're gaining a benefit via notoriety, something like that. Children, receiving children, which is what happened in my case. Robert Dole received my daughter wrongfully, claiming that they were related to me when they're not. They're not related to me by blood or by law. And so Elizabeth St. Cyr, right in front of me, was faking seizures. And the thing about it is, her own daughter, Alicia Patterson, and her ex-partner, because he's married to someone else now, her ex-partner, Elizabeth St. Cyr's ex-partner, Charles Devlin Patterson, that's his real name, and her real name is St. Cyr. Okay, these Charles and Alicia told on Elizabeth that she was faking because it wasn't just with the seizures. She also did it with breast cancer. The way I caught it with the breast cancer was we were sitting there one day when they were renting my house on Cass Avenue in Dowagiac. This was right before she stole my documents and tried to blame it on my dad. Okay, she was talking to some dude online while she was with Charles. This is one of the reasons he left her. Okay, she lifted up her shirt and exposed herself. Well, you can see then that she was lying because she claimed to have had a full mastectomy. Well, have you ever seen anybody with a mastectomy? I absolutely have. So I knew right then and there that she was lying. And the problem is she also was faking seizures, making fun of me. And again, Alicia and Charles told on her. She didn't realize that when they were discussing the seizures that I have, that they weren't the grandma seizures. They're what's called absent seizures. And so she really made herself look a fool, not to be funny. But when you do stuff like that, it's really disgusting. And seeing that she was doing these types of things, it's not just, I'm not the only person she did this to. She also did this to Stephanie Dole, who is, in a sense, she would be considered an adopted step sister-in-law because my mom was still married to Fred, but we don't have any blood in common. My mom left Fred because of his obsession with Ted Bundy and with Charles Manson. Fred actually wound up living with and being with Fred's sister, Alice Bundy, who actually claims Hope, her daughter, to be Fred's as well. So, and me and Hope had a discussion about this because I was like, why would you want to keep on claiming the man? And why does everybody want to claim him? He's a town drunk. And I come to figure out why, because they're all satanic worshipers. And they all of these guys are into some pretty evil stuff. So this is, I also have a situation where Elizabeth stole my ID card and pretended to be me when she went into the Catholic Church in Dowagiac. It just so happened, and for those of you who don't have an understanding, this is how deep my roots go with the church, okay? The Pope Leo, who is now the Pope, he was actually at the Catholic Church when Elizabeth used my ID card. They caught it all on video. She attempted to get away with it, claiming I was just jealous of her. Well, there's nothing for me to be jealous of her about. She's a nobody. Again, she stole my ID card and was going around telling people she was me. She's not the only person who did it. Lucille Michael also did it too. And she confessed to me that she used my ID card. She got pulled over and didn't realize that I had that warrant. It's a witness warrant, and it got her caught. She almost went to jail until she confessed that she wasn't me. So she told me that she did that. The audacity to claim to be sick when you're not. And see, this is part of the problem. Elizabeth Saintson, we call her Betty, was going all throughout Florida telling everybody she had breast cancer while she was collecting donations and other things of that people were giving to her because she was fraudulently claiming to be sick. Now, I have serious problems with people that do this. Betty also turned around and was caught in Indiana assaulting and picking with a handicapped person. She's not the only one that's done this. One of the girls that was on the bus, her name's Alicia McDonald. She goes and she married a man named Scott Hatter last year. Was it the year before last? And I attended her wedding at the courthouse up here in South Haven. Again, she's married to Scott Hatter. So there's no possible way she could be with anybody else without committing adultery, because that's exactly what that is. And anyway, my point with this is that these are the same people that lied in order to obtain custody of my daughter. So they forged documents, and Elizabeth is also the same person that turned around and she had stole documents from me and claimed that my dad, Richard Erickson, did it, when I know darn well he didn't. Why would he steal documents when he had my guardianship? He had no reason to do that, because he was already in charge of me as far as that goes, which is why my mom gave me the power of attorney in case there came an incident where there was some fraud. Because my mom told me that if my Uncle David, had come to be over the estate, my mom's estate, that it was fraud and that he needed to go to jail and I needed to turn him in. And me and my adopted father, Richard Erickson, had the same understanding from before my mother died. I wanted this to be made clear because, and this is how a guy in a golden triggered it, because it was a video he did talking about faking a Teddy being sick, faking being sick so he didn't have to go to the vet. And so when a person is faking it, because the medical evidence will say so. Elizabeth St. Cyr never had breast cancer. On top of that, she's done so much faking. And the reason I'm exposing this is because of the fraud that she's been involved in, where she's actually gained both financially and publicly from the fraud. So because of that, Elizabeth St. Cyr is probably going to be criminally charged. The other part of this is I believe that she is responsible for the group, and it's not one or two people, it's a large group of people that have been gang stalking me. And so they've caught it because people keep hacking into my stuff. Yesterday, when I was at the wellness center and I had turned my phone off, somebody hacked in to my Bluetooth watch. And I caught it right when they did it because it said connected when my phone was off. My watch could not, and there's no glitch for that. Your watch is not going to sit there and continuously say that you're connected to your phone when your phone's not on. That doesn't work that way. Now, I understand that there are some computer glitches that does occur, but this is something that's continuous and it's gone on for years. So it's not something new. In the course of this, there have been people that have been running behind me at the gym who have been trying to listen in on everything that I say. And in turn, when I say something about it, they twist it and make it like I'm the one who's the abuser when I'm not. The only person who has damages here is me. I'm the one who lost my child wrongfully. My property was wrongfully seized because of the defamation. And it went on for years. It didn't just start with the 2016 election. Just like the defamation on Elizabeth St. Cyrs' part did not start with the 2016 election. She actually confessed to stealing my in attacks, and it's my understanding that Elon Musk's corruption group caught her stealing my videos and AIing them to look like she was the one who was doing them, and I was copying her. So there's no confusion here. Doge are the one. And Big Balls came and said something to me because he was viciously attacked. People have been attempting to attack me for a long time. I've also caught people coming into I didn't physically catch them coming into my apartment, but so much keeps coming up missing. The latest thing that came up missing was the activated charcoal I just bought off my United Healthcare card last month. So I had 2 bottles that I had bought. One of them I hadn't opened yet. The one that was unopened disappeared. This keeps happening to me consistently. And no, I don't leave my door open like that. I just left it open because we had maintenance crew that was supposed to come in and fix stuff before we had inspection yesterday. So because of this, and you wouldn't, even with that, you still would not be able to get into my apartment because I have a security door beyond my front door. You wouldn't know that unless you've been in my house. The only people that really know about that, well, everybody knows now, but before now, the only people that knew about that were the people that lived in this apartment. So or the people that have been stalking me. So there's a lot that's been going on that people aren't talking about. And I wanted to make this clear because the only reason I could think that Elizabeth would continue to do this is because she is a drug addict. And she righteously had her kids taken from her when they were little. Taurus Bayham, who's her son, told me that she molested him. And that's some of the reason that I believe that she's doing this is to cover that up because she is a pedophile. In fact, she might even be on the Epstein list. I'm not trying to be funny, but she came from Florida. And I know that I'm the one who busted the Epstein case that with regards to the statutory rape charges. The house that was busted over in Dowagiac is what led to the Epstein case. So there's no confusion here. 2 years after my mom was murdered. We're not talking about maybe or might have been. And I've been told by law enforcement, that my mother was murdered because it's posted in the newspaper. So for those of you who were wondering, that's where the story is. I have 4 family members who were murdered, and I do believe my grandmother that's part of the reason my grandmother was murdered. Faith Falk. I'm to let people know that I ran into the person whose grandmother made my grandma's dress when she married Al Capone. So for those of you who thought that you had this licked by erasing everything you could on the internet, you forgot one little detail. There's so many witnesses that are still alive that knew that you're lying, that it actually busted you. So, and here's the other part. Again, this is projecting. When you see somebody who you know is an abuser and you see them projecting their behavior off to the person that they're abusing, and projection basically means they're accusing the person that they're abusing of doing what they're actually doing. That's what projection is. Betty, aka Elizabeth St. Cyrs, has been doing this to everybody for years. I'm not the only person. I've actually had other people come up to me and tell me that she's done this to them too. So it's okay to come forward and tell on her if you know that this has been going on or you've witnessed something from other people. I had prosecutors that I see all the time that know that I'm telling the truth. Some of these guys had to come into the wellness center to ID me because of how deep Elizabeth St. Cyr went with this. What started out as a little thing because she was embarrassed has now snowballed into all of this. And she still won't stop, sending person after person after person. Law enforcement sent a messenger to let me know the British are coming, the British are coming. Law enforcement, the way the way it was verified is because she told me what they found in the trash I threw out that day. So there's no confusion. Law enforcement will tell you in different ways so that you know that they're watching and that they've got your back. But by this time, there's so much evidence against these guys that there's no confusion. They know they did it. So that's the story for today. I also have one other thing, and this is something else that's so important. I want people to pay attention to the web searches because I went to go look up the web search where it talks about women that are flat as a board or obstructionists and women that are decorated, which means you have big boobs, like I do, are full of the Spirit, and we're considered decorated. We decorate, and we're supposed to decorate our walls in our house like we want ourselves to be decorated in spirit. So when I went to go, I know this verse, I just didn't know the exact placing it was in the Bible. When I went to go web search it, it said it didn't exist. But all the elders will tell you that it's actually true. So if you're decorated, you're full of Spirit. And if you're flat as a board, you're considered to be an obstructionist. That's why some women go and get implants so that they can fake it. And again, I'm going to tell you, most men don't like that because women that get those fake implants, they can tell they're not real the minute they touch them. Men don't want that. That doesn't turn a man on. That's something me and my husband talked about. So there's no confusion here. I just wanted to put out that's going on. And for those of you who witness it or have witnessed this type of stuff going on in the past, it is a positive thing for you to turn it in. Failing to do so is actually enabling, and you can be criminally charged if you see something and you don't say something, because it's considered collusion. Just so we're all on the same page. I hope everybody has a blessed day, and it's raining outside here in Michigan, so take your umbrellas just in case, with God's love. God bless America. Have a blessed day. Back the badge and support the